millions of coins versus just a few thousand coins. Both people will call themselves traders, but they do very vastly different things. So believe me when I tell you there are levels to this trading game. Some are going to sit there and grind hours just to make 10k across the course of like a day. Boys, some of these traders are sat on more coins than me and you would even know what to do with. So today, let me break down for you the different levels, every level of trader in FC26 and how you can climb the ladder and become one of those people that has more coins than you know what to do with. And yeah, I'm going to talk about my experience and why it's so hard sometimes to climb up one level of the ladder to the next when trying to learn to trade in FC. And one of the hardest stages to get out of is level 1, the complete beginner trader. This person has no money or no knowledge. They are right at the beginning of the journey. By far my least favorite stage when I was learning to trade. This person will probably put their money into TikTok pump and dumps or even invest for the new marquee matchups coming out. So they might have invested into the Arsenal and Tottenham players, and this person is basically lost, right? We all have to start somewhere. The new trader doesn't know what they're doing. They just try and throw their money about based on what anyone will tell them, and oftentimes they will not get anywhere. You know you want coins, you know other people make millions of coins, so you want to give it a go, but nothing seems to make sense. It feels like people are hiding something from you. It doesn't really make any sense how these people are making so many coins. So naturally, what does this person often do? Well, they give up. They often just give up and go back to playing the game, and I understand it, but I'm so glad this wasn't me when I first started learning to trade. I'm so glad that I moved on to stage 2. So stage 2, boys. Stage 2 is what we call the method man. Now, the method man, they are past stage 1. They know there's ways to make coins, and often they can stumble on this by accident, but they find a method that works. We talk about them loads, but they might stumble across some sort of method like chem style trading, and they will go and abuse it. They know it works, and they start to see their coin total go up. They will sit on a particular filter or on one individual card, but they will start making coins. Something's starting to work. They started on 5,000 coins, and now you may be on 15, 20,000 coins, right? You start to believe that maybe trading does work. Maybe you can start to buy these high-end icons that you see all the other free-to-play traders using. Now, the best place for these methods, the best place to possibly be for a stage 2 trader is to follow someone on YouTube. Like maybe you subscribe to BigJead, because boys will be getting you more of these methods coming, or you might even see it on like a TikTok. You can find these methods on all over the place, Instagram, TikTok, right? So you often have to follow someone who gives you these methods, and it's a great way to start. The pitfall is though, you of course still have no real knowledge, right? The method man knows how to make coins on one or maybe two particular methods that they've learned from a BigJead video or they've learned from somewhere else, but you still don't know how to actually trade. You're still not really learning the market. Some things don't make sense. You can see your coin total going up, but very slowly. And this is where now we need to already start to get towards the more exciting stages, such as stage 3. So let's talk about it. You've mastered stage 2. You've followed BigJead. You've subscribed to him on YouTube. Let's say you've got 100,000 coins to play with after your first initial method. You are now what I call the money man. You are on a bit of money. You've stumbled into a bit of money, possibly for the first time. You could also call it the, oh, damn, I got some coins phase, because finally you look at your coins and you go, oh, damn, I've got some coins. And when people have coins and they don't have knowledge, what do you boys often look to do? You might have been in that stage, because I know I was. You go and look to invest in something. You might have 100k, 200k, it doesn't really matter. And you might go look at investing in Rashford because he got a new Evo. Or you might even look on Footbin for some of the new popular cards that you see pop up, like some of the meta cards. Might stumble onto Footbin, go and look at someone like Bon Matty and go, God, she looks low, right? She's down from where she was a few days ago. And they will go and put all of their coins they've got into one of these cards, or they might even choose a cheaper card. Like, for example, if we look, Marmouche, they might go, oh, he was 2,000 or 3,000 coins the other day. So they might go and put all of their coins into someone like Marmouche. Now, you don't have the knowledge to trade, but you want to make coins, and you've got your first set of coin stacks. But what normally happens when you invest blindly on FC or on FIFA? Well, we know what happens. You often lose it all. Now, why does this happen? Well, it's pretty obvious, boys. If you look at any player on the FC market, what is their natural trend for the entire year? It's a downtrend. So if you try and invest blindly on pretty much any card on the entire market, you've got to know exactly what you're doing to catch one of these spikes. And if not, you're of course going to catch the next day, which is almost always lower than the previous day. And this is a great way to lose your coins when you make your first set. But that's not what we want, right? A lot of people, I'd in fact say the most people when they trade, this is by far the most people give up in stage 3 because they just lose all their coins. They go, right, this is not worth it. It was a scam from the start, and they'll go back to playing the game. But if you don't give up in this phase, if you keep trading, if you keep pushing on, the next few phases are not only the most profitable, they're not only the most fun, but it's the least people who do them, which means it's even more exclusive. You can make more coins than most other people on the game have ever seen before. And this is where stage 4 comes in, what I'm going to call the learner, the person who's like, right, this clearly works. Let's get to learning. Boys, if you're not in this phase yet, get to it. And if you're already in it, then listen up. You've accepted that you don't have all the knowledge you need. I was there once, boys. I've been trading for years. You have to pick this up slowly. So maybe you go join a free Discord that you can learn to trade from, because YouTube and TikTok alone just isn't cutting it now. And a really good idea is go and follow people on Twitter that trade. Go and follow people that can bring you knowledge for absolutely free, because it is just extra knowledge when you're learning to trade. And you might even stumble across some funny tweets from someone called BigJead. Go drop us a follow. But go and follow people on Twitter who trade. It's just additional knowledge that you can learn from. You're in the learner phase. You're ready to make millions. This is how you start it. And using this, you don't just now know one method. You don't just know 2 methods. You now start to learn every method that's available on the game, as well as when to use them and what to do around content. We got the Savino SBC. You're now starting to learn what players will fall and rise. You get these Asia and Oceania and the rest of the continent SBCs. You start to learn how can you invest in players for these upcoming SBCs. How can you trade with leaks? What does the content do to the game? You're starting to learn. You get advice of other people who have traded for years, because why not? People give away this stuff for free. You need to go and take it in. You not only that, you start to learn why sniping doesn't really work and it's outdated, and instead why you need to trade using chem styles, or why you need to use in lazy list to use the consumables page, and things start to click into place. You put all these pieces together, and as you can see, I'm halfway through this phase on this account already, and we're on 2 million coins. Because when you do this, boys, coins start flowing. You don't just start doing 2 methods or 1 method. You don't just start doing high budget. You start doing low budget as well. You start doing a bit of everything. It turns like a conveyor belt of coins, and all of a sudden you start on 100k, but you're learning. Not only are you on 200k or 300k, but you feel like you could go and teach someone else how to trade. And this, in my opinion, is one of the most fun phases of trading. You learn how evos work and why we can invest in them. Why did this Rashford go from 15 to 30k, back down to 15k, now he's back at 20k? Why does that happen? What are the fundamental reasons the market moves the way it does? Now, people think we're taking it too seriously when it comes to trading coins on the game, but I want to use Zlatan, I want to use Henry, I want to use Eusebio, so I enjoy learning about these methods, and I did enjoy learning about it back in FIFA 20 when I got to this stage of trading on FC. Don't get me wrong, you will lose coins in this phase as well. I lost 1 million coins on João Neves' team of the week the other day. I'm sure you boys will have seen it. It happens. But while you lose 1 million, you'll make 2 million. You lose 50k, you'll make 100k. It is part of the journey. And I promise you, boys, you get to this stage, you start to learn this stage, you can find that the next stage becomes even easier. And the next stage is where you become a millionaire in FIFA. In fact, I've literally called stage 5, the next stage is the millionaire phase. So, the millionaire phase, yes, you've been seeing me show them a lot of this video. Icons. Icons become possible. You see people trade icons all the time, and I bet you've thought before, that is quite risky, or maybe you've tried it and made a few coins, but you think, other people are doing this better than me. Well, that's how the millionaire phase works. Icons, and not just icons, but some of these high-tier promo cards, live cards, people start to learn how to use these. This is the type of trader, stage 5, the millionaire, who is probably now on 1 million plus coins. They have coins to look at these promo cards, and they even have coins to look at some of the more expensive promo cards and invest in them, and look at when they're going to flip, look at when they're going to go down, and then when they're going to rise, maybe coming into the game, if it's a UCL card, or if it's an icon. When do they fall and rise with FUT champions and weekend league? Because that's how icons often work. Are they going to fall because Black Friday? Now, this is a very difficult phase without any prior knowledge. You do need people to be helping you through this phase. Eventually, you'll learn it on your own, but boys, we talk about icon trading all the time, live on the Twitch streams, and you boys have started to do it, and you'll see from the Discord, you boys make tens to hundreds to millions of coins, right, when you've started icon trading off what we've taught you. And this millionaire phase feels like cloud 9. It genuinely does, because not only are you getting to trade these icons, the amount of time, boys, that I have got got a Fernando Torres on a trade, used him for 5 games in Weekend League, and then sold him for 50,000 coins profit, and you feel like you're on a higher plane than everyone else. Now, you're not at all. Don't get too arrogant. You're probably still getting 7 wins in Weekend League, but that's not the point. You got 7 wins, and you got to use Fernando Torres. Yes, he missed most of the one-on-ones that you got through on goal with him, but you got to use him, and no one else did, and that is what matters. But the question I'm sure you are all wondering, how many coins does the millionaire normally get to before they move on to the final stage, the most coins stage, the last stage of a trader? Well, I'll say the millionaire often gets to 2 to 3 to 5 million coins before they go, you know what? Stage 6 is for me. I have done icons, I have mastered it, but it's not moving quick enough. I'm addicted to coins, and they move on to phase 6. Phase 6, boys, as you can see from my transfer list here, is the all-in phase. Yes, that's right, we got to the all-in phase, but let me explain how you can do it and how the big traders make millions doing this. Why do they choose the cards they do? The reason they do it, first of all, boys, is 50k profit on a Fernando Torres is great, right? But if you're on 5 million coins, it starts to get to the point where it ain't tickling your pickle anymore. You need a little bit more. Now, of course, this is risky. This is the risky form of trading, but let me list the 5 most common things that big, top-end, top 1% traders go all in on, okay? Number 1 is Team of the Weeks. They rise because of SBCs, and they often get towards discard throughout the year. That is number 1. It is one of the most safe all-ins, but because it's so safe, it's one of the all-ins that has the least profit available from it. Number 2 is Evo trading, like this Omar Marmoush, where you will go all in on a card, expecting them to get an Evo, and then double, triple, quadruple, go to 10x in price because people will want the Evo for the card. So many people did this with Marmoush. He recently went from 1,000 to 5,000 back to 1,000 coins. But if you caught that 1,000 to 5,000 coin rise, that is insane profit. Number 3 is fodder. Good fodder. These cards go up for SBCs, I'm sure you all know, boys. Similar to Team of the Weeks, people will go all in on these for SBCs. Again, it's more safe, but it's, of course, if it's more safe, less profit. But any rating of fodder is the next all-in. The second to last all-in is promo cards, and we could be talking any promo cards, but it is often live cards. For example, you could go all in on this Rios card before the Benfica game, and if you're a good trader and you know which cards are in demand, which cards people are using in their teams, which cards are people buying because they need to link other cards in the game that are really popular. For example, we recently got Otamendi from Benfica, which made this Rios card very, very, very usable because Otamendi's captain's card allowed you to link these two very nicely, so he did really well in price, and people will go all in on these promo cards and then sell them for a great profit. It is, of course, crazy risky, like unbelievably risky, but if you know what you're doing, the coins in this are unbelievable. But what is the last all-in? And the last all-in is what I did recently to make over 1 million coins of profit in just a week. Before we get to the last all-in, boys, if you could leave a like on the video, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. Leaving a like on the video really does help us out. I would very much appreciate it. The last and the most underrated all-in, in my opinion, is silver cards. Now, recently, a lot of people got stung by buying silver cards for the tournament. We made over 1 million coins from it because we bought and sold at the right times at the right prices. But silver all-ins are so underrated because they can often go from 1,000 coins to near 8, 9, 10,000 coins, which is just profit you will not see anywhere else on an all-in. It just means you, of course, have to buy more cards. So, boys, when you see some dude on Twitter on 10 million coins plus, this phase 6 is often how they got there. You probably realized, right, one big thing was missing from today's video, which is how to get from stage 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Those early stages are really important. So I'm going to put a video on screen now, which is the 0 to 500k guide, where if you've not seen that already, go and give that a watch or even a rewatch. It is great from getting from stage 1 all the way up to stage 3 or 4, and then you can start working towards stage 5 and 6. Comment down below any questions, boys, but like always, until next time, I'll see you all in a bizzle.